Hello there and welcome to Focus Devon. My name's John Tompkins and very, very excited on the show today. Not only is it sunshine, we're in Salcombe and I'm with Howard Davies, who is co-founder of Salcombe Gin. What I can't believe, firstly about this, what a success. You must be so proud of this place.
We're really proud, thrilled and humbled in the same way as well. I mean, we're so proud of the gin that we've produced and the way that the business has grown over quite a short period of time. So yeah, we're really pleased with it and doing our best to continue in the same vein. My passion really is, apart from gin of course, yeah. is water sports, really sailing. I've sailed all my life since I was a child. Anything on the water, sailing, windsurfing, yachting, kiting, scuba diving under the water, I love it all. And actually, that sort of ties in quite nicely in terms of how this all started really. So, I've been coming to Salcombe for years and my family moved down here when I was a teenager. And I used to work at a local sailing school here called the Island Cruising Club, which is an amazing place. And actually that was where I met Angus, my co-founder, my partner in the business. And so we used to be teaching children to sail each day in the summer. And then at the end of a day, teaching sailing on the water, we'd normally retire up to the yacht club, which has a beautiful terrace overlooking the estuary. Then as the sun set in the evening, the first drink we would normally have would be a nice gin and tonic to just have a chat about how the day went. And I think that is probably the seed of the idea for Salcombe Gin that then came to reality a number of years later.
Salcombe Gin, what's so special about the gin here?
So a number of things really. So when we decided we wanted to produce Salcombe and gin, we thought Salcombe Gin, what a fantastic combination. We both had a passion and a real interest in gin and distillation. And then we wanted to set out to make an exceptional London dry style of gin. And we both had in our minds an idea of the type of gin we wanted, slightly citrus-led, but with a real spectrum of flavour. So we started off, after doing a lot of botanical tasting and a lot of tasting of other gins, with our sort of #1 base recipe. And then frankly, it's hard work and a lot of tasting, which you may not think such hard work, but pretty much over a period of
I feel so sorry, tasting gin.
Yeah,
it must be such a... Because what you showed us earlier, you had a little unit and you were tasting and you were getting all your friends to taste it. I mean, I bet they found that hard as well.
Exactly. So we started with a miniature still, which is a fantastic. And basically, that's roughly the right size to make one bottle of gin at a time. And then each day we'd come in and we'd create maybe 3, 4 or 5 different recipes and distill 3, 4 or 5 different bottles of gin on that still. And then at around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we'd have a blind tasting where we would then compare and contrast the flavours, decide what we liked and what we didn't like. Other times we'd have other friends or family in as well, or people we didn't know, to do tastings as well. And then the next day or the next time, we'd come in and develop some other permutations of the recipe, just evolving it and iterating it all the way. And this went on, not every day, I hasten to add, but it went on for about 18 months. And then at the end of that, it's hard to know when to stop, to be honest, but we were really happy where we got to. We've made a really lovely gin and we were getting fantastic feedback about it.
So you've got the formula for the gin,
yeah.
But how did this place come about? How do you think, right, we're going to base it in Salcombe at this venue? What was so special about?
Okay, so again, so one other thing I'll just mention on the gin as well actually is what we're very fortunate here as well, which is part of the reason actually for the site being here in Salcombe, is that we're fortunate here in that all of the water in Salcombe actually originates from Dartmoor, which is the lovely soft water. And so we have the benefit of that in our gin as well, which helps the gin be really, really smooth, which is a lot of the feedback that we get. And then another great thing with Salcombe as well is there's a really rich history here of, in the 19th century, there was these Salcombe fruit schooners, these wooden sailing vessels, that imported fruits and spices into the UK. And they were all built here. And so we looked up at the old manifest lists of these boats and took inspiration for our botanicals in our gin through some of the cargo that these vessels used to carry. And actually one of the fruits they used to carry was a fruit called a shaddock or pomelo, which is a relative of the grapefruit. And that's why we use red grapefruit in our gin. And it makes a lovely garnish as well.
Oh, wow.
And then this premises, so then the next one was, okay, we love Salcombe, it's a great location. So we were searching around trying to find a premises to start our distillery, and we came across somebody who was developing this site. And funny enough, this is where with that old sailing school we used to work at, used to have a boathouse here. And so this site was then being redeveloped, and we thought, well, that's got to be destiny.
Yeah, definitely.
So we managed to secure the site, built our distillery here, and here we are.
I mean, one of the things, was there any moments, actually 2 moments, the moment where you thought, what we do, and then when was the moment you thought, yeah, this is going to work?
So, so the moment when we thought,
Yeah.
what are we going to do?
Yeah,
Jimmy?
what are you going to do? What have you got yourself into? Kind of.
I don't know. I mean, there was a couple like that actually. I suppose. You know, there was the early days. I remember I went round to Angus's house and we had a barbecue there, and there we were leafing through all these ideas of what the gin flavour might be, how the branding might look. That was really cool, actually. And then maybe another big one was when we kind of finally sort of got this site. It was like we're sort of signing our name down to take it on. There was no turning back at that point. So that was a big thing. And then in terms of when we thought, okay, I wouldn't say that we made it, but one of the, sort of the really big milestones for me that really was thinking this is looking really good was when after about 6 months of having been making the gin, the gin itself was awarded gold at the World Gin Awards. And then about 6 months later, we received a double gold at the San Francisco International Spirits Competition. And that was amazing for us, you know, at the time as a small South Devon distillery, something that Angus and I had started, to get that sort of accreditation and recognition was amazing.
Thinking of your journey, there might be some business people watching this or general audience members. Have you got any advice for them? They've got an idea, they want to go and do it. What's the key to it?
Well, okay, I don't know, and you know, we've been very fortunate. I think we've worked really hard. So I am no expert by any means, but if I was to try to pick out a couple of things, one is for us at least was we had a really clear vision of what we wanted to achieve, and Gus and I both had we're totally in sync in that vision. We wanted to create an exceptional gin. We wanted to create a lovely visitor centre where people can come and engage with us. We have taken no shortcuts ever in terms of the quality of the product and anything we do. We are pedantic about it. So everything has to be perfect, and that's got to carry through, and hopefully that then shows through. And then also it's about working with great people. So, you know, the team we've got here now, you know, about 20 people, we've got such a great team. You know, that's key. It can't come down to me and Gus. And indeed, you know, the other businesses that we work with as well, our partners, they're all fantastic as well. So picking the people that you work with is really key too.